Let me go ahead and start.
There we go. So let's get started. My name is Shawnee Black, and I work with the Center for Housing and Community Studies at UNCG, and we are hosting these workshops. And I'm here with my colleague, Terrell Richardson and Renée Norris, and I will let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we can get started with the workshop.
Hi, I'm Renée Norris. I am the Eviction Mediation Coordinator, sort of working to help people who are facing eviction or need helped, which actually is what Terrell is actually more involved in actually applying for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and also locating other resources that might help people who are in danger of eviction.
And hello, my name is Terrell Richardson. I'll be facilitating tonight's workshop, and I am a housing navigator, and I assist people with applying for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program offered by the city and the county. So I will go ahead and get started. And thank you so much for coming to the Rental Assistance Program workshop on this evening. Thank you so much.
We just had another person join us, and I just wanted to let that person know that we are being recorded. So I hope that's okay with you. And Terrell, you can go ahead and get started. I'm sorry.
So what is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program? It's a program that offers financial assistance for up to 12 months to individuals that are behind on their rent and utilities for reasons related to the coronavirus. But however, the county is accepting applications that are indirectly related to COVID. And there is a 3-month recertification process with that. And the program is administered locally by the city of Greensboro and Guilford County. One thing that should be noted is that the funds may be running out. So I think it's important to realize that you may not be guaranteed those 12 months, even though they will offer that assistance for up to 12 months. It's not guaranteed, and it's contingent upon the availability of those funds. So who is eligible for the assistance? If you're a resident of Guilford County, if you've experienced financial hardship directly or indirectly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, if you're behind on utility payments or behind on rent payments, and you are below the 80% of the annual median income level for Guilford County. And you can see those numbers below. I'll leave that up for a second. So the common eligibility questions is, do you have to be behind on your rent payments? No, you don't have to be behind on your rent payments, but you have to be behind on your utility payments in order to receive the assistance from the city and the county.
So Terrell, I'm sorry to interject, but since there are only a few of us here, I want to welcome everybody to do the same thing, which is, we can save questions for the end, but also if you have a pressing question right now, you can go in the chat or come off mute and ask. So when you say you can't be behind on, you have to be behind on utilities, but can't be behind on the rent. So say if my rent is current now, can I apply? Am I eligible to apply?
You have to be behind on your utility payments, but you don't have to be behind on your rent.
So if I'm just interested in rent, my rent can be current now, but I am eligible. But
Yes.
in order to be eligible to get assistance with my utilities, those do have to be behind.
So in order to, if you live in Guilford County and you fall behind on your rent or utilities, you don't have to be behind on your rent, but you must be behind on utilities.
Thank you.
So how can you prove to your landlord that you have applied to the program? You can do that by just showing them the screenshot or forwarding the email of the verification that you've applied from the county. They'll send you an email after you have completed it, and that you can just share that with them. If you return to work full-time and you're receiving unemployment, are you eligible? Yes, you are eligible. Can and should undocumented residents apply? Yes, you can apply. You just have to show some kind of information that documents that where you live. So you don't have to necessarily have a US photo ID. You can have a passport or anything else that just verifies that your address is on there. And should you still apply if your landlord is threatening eviction? Yes, you should apply. And we also have an eviction program, which you'll find out a little bit later throughout this presentation, that we can connect you with, that will come in and help you navigate that process with your landlord. Any questions so far? I can't see the chat box if there is.
No, there's nothing in the chat.
So how do you apply? You make sure that you have all your documents ready before you apply, because in the county, you have to do it in one sitting. You can't start the application and then come back to it. You have to make sure that it's all done in one sitting. So it's important to make sure you have all of those documents. And this is the website that you can go to apply. And if you don't remember this link to the website, you can just go to Google and type in Guilford County, North Carolina ERAP application, and it'll take you directly to the website. I use that the majority of the time rather than going to the link here. And I'll leave that up for a second. So what documents are needed? You will need proof of residency. So that's driver license or any other official document, such as a passport, a bill from an official person, like a bank statement or something that just shows that you really do live there. Your most recent rent statement showing your past due amount. So that could be a receipt, a letter from your landlord, anything of that such will suffice. If you're applying for utilities, you'll need your most recent bill. You'll also need your household income verifications with proof of financial hardship for the past 2 months. So that could be pay stubs, letter of termination, unemployment benefits, or you can, with the city, you can do it has a form that you can complete if you have no income. If you don't have any income, you can also list that on the county's application. And lastly, they do offer assistance with the internet. So if you have a internet bill, you can just provide that as well. And I'll leave that up for a second. Well, actually, it's going to be on the next slide. Document submission. So again, you'll need the household income verification, the proof of residency, and the copy of your rent bill, lease, and ledger. Lately, we've been running into it where people don't have their lease because they've been living somewhere for so long and the lease is outdated. Just have your landlord write a letter to say, this is how much you pay in rent. You've been living here so and so amount, and this is how much you pay every month. And a receipt will also suffice too as well for the rent bill and ledger. And so once you get through with the application process, the next screen that you'll go to on the county's end is they'll have you a link for you similar to what we saw previously, like this, where you can click to upload. And so I will leave that up there for a second. Any questions regarding documents?
So Terrell, what is, if someone doesn't have internet access, so they're not able to upload it to the internet, then what's the best way for them to submit their documents?
Okay, we're going to get there next, but
Okay.
you can contact us and we'll help you there. But that's a little further in the slide. But you can always call us and we will help you submit those documents. And our contact information is coming up shortly. So what happens next after you applied? You can expect to hear back around 10 days is what the county says. And they will send a check directly to your landlord. However, if it's after 10 days, which I've seen that more common then none. And if so, you can call the county at the number listed to check the status of your application. They'll let you know what is going on with it. And while you wait, it's important to notify your landlord and let them know that you've applied, because they will have to submit some documents such as a W-9 in order for that process to go through. So it's some accountability on your end, but also accountability on their end. So please encourage your landlord to constantly check their email and answer the phone if they get a call from the county, because they'll need to submit those documents in order for the check to process. So if you need help, similar to what Sonny asked, because you don't have internet access, or it seems like it may be a challenge for you, or you know someone else who needs to apply for it and they don't know how to do it and they may need some assistance, you can get them to go to the link here. I'll give you a second to screenshot, take a picture. It's go.uncg.edu, erap.chcs, and it'll take you to a form that you can complete. And someone from our office will be calling you or calling the person that you refer to help them with the application. Or you can give us a call at 336-334-4623, and someone will return your call to help you with the application. And a great thing about us is that we're very flexible. So we have staff that works during traditional work hours, and then we also have staff that works during the evening if you work throughout the day, to help you apply as well. So don't feel limited to, oh, if I work in the evenings, if I work during like 9 to 5, I need help in the evening, you can always give us a call and we'll make sure that we can help you in those evening hours as well. But it's important that you give us a call at this number listed between the hours of 9 to 5, preferably before 5, and just share that, you would like a follow-up call in the evening, and we'll follow up with you. So I'm going to turn it over to Renee, and she will discuss a little bit more about our eviction mediation program.
Okay. Yes, so at the Center for Housing Community Studies, we're developing an eviction mediation program that our goal is to assist tenants and landlords in reaching an agreement without having to go to court. And during this time of crisis in the pandemic, we're also helping those tenants who have applied for emergency rental assistance, but have not been finalized yet. So we can reach out to the landlord, explain what's going on, ask for more time so they do not proceed with any eviction proceedings. And then we will also reach out to either the county or the city, depending upon who has their application, to see if they can speed up the process because an eviction is pending. And that is one of the things that the Emergency Rental Assistance Program is really interested in, trying to help those most in danger of immediate eviction. So we can sort of get moved to the front of the line in some cases. And the mediation program, beyond the rent being past due, we're also developing it so that if there's some other kind of dispute that might otherwise end up in a court action, that we're willing to mediate between the tenant and the landlord, whether it's something about a noise or somebody being in the residence. But we're here to help so that people can avoid eviction wherever possible, to get more time to resolve issues. And even if it's not the ERAP program, to work with the landlord and the tenants to develop perhaps a repayment plan, or to resolve it short of having an actual eviction show up on the person's record for the rest of their next 7 years. So you can call the 336-334-4623 to speak with the eviction mediator also, so that they will call you back, get more information, and then reach out to the landlord, or if it's the landlord who calls, get the tenant information and reach out to both parties and see if we can help them to reach an agreement. So, any questions or?
Thank you, Renee.
You're welcome.
So for individuals living outside of Guilford County, you can apply for the HOPE program, and you can visit the information here on the webpage, and they will be able to assist you with the HOPE program. And that number is 888-927-5467. But assuming that the majority of the people here live in Guilford County, of course, you will be ineligible for that program. But if you know someone who needs assistance outside of Guilford County, and the counties listed on the right, Macomb, Cabarrus, Cumberland, Durham, Forsyth, Gaston, Johnson, Mecklenburg, New Hanover, Union, or Wake, they can apply for the whole program. So you can reach out to us if you have any questions that you may not have today, or if you just want to coordinate a time to meet with us. If you work for an agency, you want us to come in and share this presentation with some of the clients that you work with, you can just feel free to give any of us a call. Renee, who works with Eviction Mediation, who just spoke, and Sonny, the coordinator of this event, who spoke at the beginning, the community advocate who oversees the Tenant Leadership Academy, or myself and Sierra, you can contact us, or you can contact Khadijah. She does the outreach coordination as well. But if you want to call us, just feel free to give us a call at 336-334-4623. And that's the best way to get in contact with any of us that is a more solid phone number. And so if you have any questions, or you want to direct anything to us, or you just want to reach out to us, please feel free to reach us at chcs@uncg.edu or 336-334-3863, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with anything that we may offer. And I'm going to go back here to just the stuff that's needed for the application. And again, we will open the floor to any questions. If you don't feel comfortable answering or asking any questions, you can direct message me and I will answer them here, because I understand we're being recorded.
So Terrell, I have a question. Do you know if, say, an individual, for whatever reason, they may be an undocumented resident, if they don't have a driver's license or picture ID, and certainly if they're undocumented, they won't have a passport either. Do you know what other ID they would accept?
Just something that indicates where you live. So it could be a bill, something official like a utility bill, a bank statement, or something that just confirms the address that you live.
Gotcha. Thank you. If you don't mind me asking, is it Miss Stang? Is it Tanji Stang? Miss Stang, how did you learn about this workshop?
I received an email.
Great, thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
Well, if not, we want to thank you for participating in the workshop. We want to invite you to share the information here with friends and neighbors. We are going to do a few more workshops, and as Terrell mentioned earlier, we are available to come if you have a community group or church, anything of that nature that you'd like us to come out and share this information with. We're happy to do that as well. And you have the phone numbers to reach us. And again, Terrell said this earlier, that if you have any questions that occur to you after the workshop is over, feel free to be in touch with us. And we're happy to help in any way we can.
Thank you.
Sure. If there are no further questions, then we will say good night. And thanks for attending.
Thanks for attending.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Well, folks, we had 3 more people than